lived in this house for almost a decade. We've never had the slightest hint of paranormal activity. No phantom footsteps, no slamming doors, no shadow people. Nothing. Until yesterday. I'd had a weird day. I'm a psychologist, and I had a somewhat stressful session with a teenage girl. Obviously can't get into specifics because of privacy and all that, but it was stressful. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but on my way home I kept glancing in my rearview mirror. It was just instinct. There was no one tailgating me, flashing their high beams or anything. In fact, I was alone on the winding country road that led up to my house. I just kept glancing in the rearview mirror, without even thinking about it. When I got home, the house was chaos as usual. Our daughter was running around with stickers, putting them on everything. My poor husband was hopelessly unsticking each one, at about half the speed she was putting them on. "Need help?" I asked. "No, but could you make some chicken nuggets?" I walked over to the fridge, and that's when I saw it. There was a dirty handprint on the freezer door. But the problem was the hand was small, yet too high up to be my kid's. I stared at it for a second, confused. I guess Seth was carrying her, and she touched the fridge. I grabbed the dish towel and rubbed it off. We got Lily into bed around 8. I was nearly falling asleep as I read her a story. As I said, it had been a hard day. My words drawled as I read Goodnight Moon for the zillionth time. My arm felt like lead on the pillow. But then Lily said something that woke me right up. "Mommy," she said, "who's the girl in the fireplace?" I looked down at her. "Huh? The girl in the fireplace," she repeated, indignant. "Who is she?" My throat went dry. "There's no girl in the fireplace." "There is," she insisted. "The girl with no face. She was sitting in the fireplace." "Okay, let's go to bed," I said, though my heart was pounding. Time to sleep. After she fell asleep, I asked Seth about it. "Didn't say anything to me about it," he said, "but that's creepy as fuck." "I know. I wanted to just go to sleep and forget about it. But eventually, my anxiety got the better of me. Sometimes we leave the door unlocked. Sometimes Sammy, the girl a few doors down, comes over unannounced to play with Lily. What if she got stuck in the fireplace or something? What if she's asphyxiating in there right now? The logical part of my brain knew that was ridiculous. I would have seen police cars outside their house. Tanya would have called me to see if Sammy was over here. There would have to be like 5 super unlikely things that would all have to happen for Sammy to be trapped in our fireplace, dying. Still, I had to go check. "I'm just going to check the fireplace," I said, starting for the door. Seth laughed. "She scared you." I'll be right back." "I'm sure it's nothing. Lily says weird shit all the time." I walked downstairs and turned left into the darkened family room. I reached for the switch and flicked on the light, just in time to see thin strands of long black hair retract into the chimney. I froze. My skin prickled. I couldn't move as I stared at the fireplace, the place where I'd just seen. No, could it really be? That would mean someone was inside the chimney, hanging upside down. I finally sucked in a breath. "Seth!" He shot down the stairs. "What's wrong?" he asked as he ran into the room. "Someone's in the chimney. I saw their hair." Seth frowned. I could tell he didn't really believe me. "Okay," he said slowly, calmly. He approached the fireplace. "Hello?" "Nothing." He paused for a second. Then he grabbed the fire poker and got on his hands and knees. Gripping the poker in one hand and his phone with the flashlight on in the other, he slowly pushed his head into the fireplace and looked up. "There's nothing there," he said. "The flue's open, though, so good thing we checked." He pulled his head back out and closed the flue. It clanged shut. "I didn't open the flue," I said. "Neither did I. I guess we left it open after the last time we lit a fire, which was... shit. Like 2 weeks ago. Man, that's probably like $50 of heat we've been paying for." He started for the stairs. "Are you sure there was nothing there?" Absolutely positive, he replied. I swallowed. Had I imagined it? As a psychologist, I knew the brain is a funny thing. A bit of hair or dust in our peripheral vision can seem like a face or a shadow person to our brain. Our brains are programmed to recognize faces, humans, danger. Like seeing faces in patterns, pareidolia. I got on my hands and knees and looked up into the chimney, just to make sure the flue was closed. Then I headed back upstairs. Something woke me up in the middle of the night. I rolled over and looked at the clock. 3:07 a.m. I closed my eyes and tried to fall back asleep, but then I heard it. Clang. A muffled metallic clang, coming from inside the house. Clang! I shook Seth awake. As he was getting his bearings, I ran over to Lily's room. Relief flooded me as I saw her fast asleep in bed. Seth stumbled into the hallway. What is that? He whispered. I don't know, should I call the police? Clang. This sound was louder than the others. And then... thump! Coming from our family room. Seth ran down the stairs. I heard his footsteps recede into the family room, and for an agonizing moment, there was silence. Then he shouted, Call the police, now! When the police arrived, I realized why he was so panicked. There were sooty footprints on our family room floor. Bare feet. Small, like those of a child. They wound in a sinusoidal pattern until fading and disappearing when they got halfway across the room. There were no footprints leading back, and the flue was open again. I don't know what to do. The police didn't find evidence of anything. They insist the footprints must have been caused by Lily. I know they weren't. She was fast asleep, and she told me she didn't make them, and I keep thinking back to that stressful session I had with that teenage girl. During the session, she was upset, and she grabbed my hand. A little weird and boundary crossing, but she was crying and desperate for comfort. When she finally removed her hand, there was this blackish, sooty smudge on my hand. I'd figured it was just some eyeliner or mascara or something, even though she looked like she wasn't wearing any. Now I'm not so sure. This morning I dialed her number to schedule her next appointment, and all I got was a robotic voice telling me the number had been disconnected.